What's up, Geeksters? It's me, Omar from GeeksterLabs.com. How's it going today, guys? Now in this video today, we're going to be comparing two products from GoPro. We have the brand new Hero Session and also the Hero4 Silver. Now the reason I picked these two cameras is because they both retail for $400. So since they're the same price, you'd think they'd be pretty comparable, but today we're going to be breaking it down to three different categories and talking about the differences. So we're going to talk about the three F's: the features, the physical, and the footage. Okay, I know physical doesn't start with an F, but just bear with me, okay? So first off, let's talk about the features. Now I'm not going to talk about every single feature that makes these two products different, but I am going to talk about the ones I think are worth mentioning. First off, field of view. So as you guys know, that most GoPro cameras, they offer different fields of view. So for the Silver, it does offer the ultra wide view and the medium and the narrow, but for the GoPro Session, it only offers the ultra wide and the medium. Now let's talk about video resolution. Now I'm not going to go into super detail about this, but right off the bat, the Hero Silver has way more resolutions and frame rates to pick from than the Hero GoPro Session. But when it comes to the resolution that you could probably be shooting at more often, at 1080 60 frames per second, both of these cameras do offer that resolution at that frame rate. Now when it comes to Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, this is something that they both feature, and this is an important point because another big difference between these two is that the Hero4 Silver features a display on the back, a touchscreen display where you can actually control it, whereas the Hero4 Session has to utilize the Wi-Fi and Bluetooth in order to control the device. So you have to use a smartphone or the Bluetooth remote to be able to control the Session. Another area that's a big difference between these two is the battery power. So the Hero4 Silver does offer a removable 1160 mAh battery pack, whereas the Session has a built-in 1000 mAh battery pack. They'll both last you about 2 hours, but the fact that you're not able to remove and swap out batteries for the Session is kind of a letdown. Okay, so those are some of the features. Now let's talk about some of the actual physical differences between these two cameras. So first off, the Session is actually 50% smaller and 40% lighter than the Hero4 Silver. Now keep in mind, when I say lighter, I'm talking about when the 4 Silver is in its actual casing. When you take it out of the casing, they're almost about the same weight. The Session is 2.6 ounces, the Hero4 Silver is 2.9 ounces, but with the casing on, it's 5.2 ounces, so that's where they get the weight difference from. Another big physical difference between these two cameras is the ports and buttons. So let's talk about the ports, okay? The Session has a micro SD and a micro USB. That's it. When it comes to the Silver, we got a micro HDMI, we have a mini USB, we have a micro SD card slot, we have a Hero port, and the Silver also supports composite AV along with using a 3.5mm microphone with an adapter. So when it comes to waterproofing, the Session actually has built-in waterproofing, so you don't have to use a case to make the Session waterproof. It already naturally is. The Hero4 Silver has to use a casing to be waterproof. The difference is this though, the waterproof for the Session, it only can go about 33 feet underwater. If you want to do some really deep diving, you're going to have to use the Hero4 Silver because that can go 131 feet underwater. And the housing for the Silver also offers some shock protection. With the Session, they don't have a housing except for the one that wraps around it that holds it in place, which is what you use to attach it to the different accessories and such. That does not have any extra shock protection. So if you're filming something on the side of a car and it falls off of there, it's going to roll around. You could possibly damage the lens and other parts of the camera because there's no actual casing protecting it. So I would think that between these two, if you're going to be doing any kind of filming that involves possible damage to the camera, you would probably want to go for the Hero4 Silver. When it comes to buttons, the Hero4 Session is very minimalistic. It has one button on top that has multiple functions, and it has the Bluetooth Wi-Fi power button on the back of it. But when it comes to the Hero4 Silver, not only does it have a touchscreen on the back, it also has the other physical buttons that you're used to seeing on the other GoPro cameras. So those are some of the physical differences. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty and talk about footage differences. So now what I'm going to be showing you guys now is some sample footage taken simultaneously with both of these cameras. And pay special attention to the saturation and colors, and also the way that the GoPro Session handles low light. So as you guys can see, there's quite a few differences between the GoPro Hero Session and the GoPro Hero4 Silver. The fact that they're both $400 kind of led me to believe that there wasn't going to be that many differences, but as you can see here, there's quite a big gap between the two. I think that if you are going to be looking at the GoPro Session, you're probably going to be wanting to utilize the smaller form factor that it does offer. It is a little bit lighter and it is smaller in weight, so I think this is probably the type of camera you may want to use when you strap it into like a helmet or things like that. But if you can deal with the larger physical form factor of the Hero 4 Silver and you require a lot of different formats and frame rates, then that's probably going to be the camera for you. Anyways guys, those are the main differences that I noticed between these two cameras. So if I missed anything guys, make sure you put that down in the comment section below, and also if you have any questions, post those down there as well. I read each and every comment in all of my videos, and I always try my best to get back to you as quickly as possible. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up as well. And I just want to thank B&H Photo for sending me these cameras to show for you guys. If you guys are interested in purchasing these products, I'll put a link to B&H Photo in the description. And as always, make sure you stop by geekstralabs.com for the latest in tech news and video reviews, and I'll see you in the next video review.